the way that the market is working right now is one of those it's this is why you never want to go short a bull market, right? You never want to short a bull market. Because look at this. Just a couple days ago, we were talking about how the market's crashing, go sell everything. It's going to be the worst thing ever. And then we're back up to like literally brand new, almost all-time highs. Right? It can happen that fast. That's why you don't ever short in a bull market. So much teasing going on. But at the same time, Mike, we're flat. I mean, we've not had any sort of price movement literally since August 13th. It has been sideways. So an entire month nearly has gone by and nothing has happened overall in the market. But a lot has happened at the same time because of this volatility, because of these frustrations. And that's why when you're looking to trade, you want to look at it as a holistic point of view, right? Of course, we have all these signals that you could trade on any day of the week that you wanted to. But let's start at the top, right? Let's start and look at the market. Let's start and look at the market here, right? The market, we did fix that bug yesterday, has a bullish trend. We just discussed that. The market still has a buy signal, but yet breadth has been collapsing. So let's take a look over at breadth. Right, take a look over at breadth. We're getting more and more and more sell signals come through here, less and less and less buy signals. So under the hood, it's not as sunshine and roses as you think. In fact, I went over to the S&P 500 map, and look, today, like one name really sticks out, Amazon. Now remember, the S&P 500 is a market cap weighted index. And so what I love about this particular map is the bigger this is, the more pull it has on the market. So if this is just today, if we go back to 1 week, right? What's the biggest pulls on the market? Nvidia pulling it down, Apple, Amazon, Walmart, and Google pulling it up. The rest of the market hasn't changed all that much. So I want to see the S&P 500, the SPY, versus the RSP. That is an equal weighted. Oh, hang on, I did that wrong. We go over here, SPY, over here, equal weighted RSP, weighted, rated IRSP. There we go. Right, we're looking at the SPY, equal weighted RSP. You can see just how hard it dropped here on Friday, August 8th. A way bigger drop than over here, and it's recovered a lot more. However, still it's gone sideways during this time. So I don't want you to be suckered in any moves, right? I want you to make sure that you have a trading plan in place, which is why Scott, our intern, our amazing quant, has been working as hard as he can to come up with all the data to help me backtest the changes to the plans. Does that mean it's badly weighted? No, I wouldn't say bad, not badly, not goodly. It just is. It just is, right? We can't change that, right? There's been a couple times people in Discord, it's like, hey, why don't you use this thing? Why don't you use that thing? And my response is the S&P is the market. You can base that on whatever, but at the end of the day, the SPY is the market. The S&P 500 is the market. As flawed as it could be, this is the market. So let's take a look under the market, right? What's moving today? We got HIMS up bigly in the middle of a downtrend, right? I'm sure people are losing their shit because it's up 6% today while having been down how far? From these recent highs to now, down 31%, but it's up 6% today. This is one of those common trading mistakes that they cover in Trading in the Zone. Mark Douglas, where's that? Trading in the Zone here is that you go completely blind to what the actual trend is, and you're focusing in only on the one move that benefits you, right? This is super duper common. Right here. AEO, right? Brandon's talking about American Eagle. I heard they have great genes. That's just what I've heard. And they also have an incredible signal right here, right? An incredible, huge, bigly gap up. Probably has to do with those great genes, if I had to guess. Let's see if there's any news stories popping through here. Shares rose 30% after a successful ad campaign. Who would have thought you put a beautiful woman in jeans and say, look, isn't it great to have a beautiful woman advertise our clothing instead of some hot mess? Who would have thought? Oh my goodness. And look at that, off the charts over here. Let's actually go look at American Eagle real quick. Yeah, those jeans looked amazing. They certainly did. They certainly did. I'm gonna sell my shares and go buy some jeans. Okay. So no buy signal came through yet on American Eagle, but that's all right. That's all right. This is still in the discretionary sector. Oh, interesting. In the different outlier zones. So we have, this is a new thing in outlier zones. So this is a high volatility stock with negative outcomes. And you can see the weighting of these negative outcomes right here in the platform, right? Even it kind of goes around the chat box there, but you can see overall that the moves typically for American Eagle have been to the downside versus the moves typically to the upside. Let's look at a different stock real quick. Let's look at Mikey. Mike is wearing American Eagle jeans right now. Mike, you're wearing more pants than I am, my friend. Who needs pants? Who needs pants? This is the trading room. We don't wear pants around here. Let's go to Tesla. Senior Wahoo, Art, you need to go get that looked at, okay? I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on the internet, but you should definitely go get that looked at. By the way, is the Bain family here today? Is the Bain family here watching live? If the Bain family is here watching live, please say hi. I want to give you something cool. I want to do you a solid. So here, let's look at Tesla's outlier zone. Has high volatility and neutral outcomes. So it has huge moves either direction, but it's not really far out of the midpoint. Not really far out of the midpoint. Yes, very snarky on the day. Who needs pants? Then we could look at outlier zone for this one. This is MicroStrategy, mid volatility with a neutral outcome. And so you can see how the cluster of the daily moves has been, nearly in the middle right there. I promise you, I did not ban the Bain family. I was actually going to give them some cool merch. I was actually going to apologize and say how much I love them, and I'm glad that they're here. So, one thing that I love about the new Outlier 4.0 is you can see at a glance if a stock is set up, right? Now, a couple different setups here. One would be 145. So that would be the better of the two backtest wise. 145 is the big trend. The big trend, trend, breadth, trend. We don't have that here. And then there's 137, which was Batman's favorite trade. So breadth, fear and greed, trend. It's not set up for that either. Joe just called me out. Joe, where the? I hear every word you're saying, McDuck. I figured he was listening. He knew that I'd be talking shit about him just because I love him. So yeah, it's not set up from either of those directions. Now, as far as the trading plan goes, we've run basically everything that I had been doing in the past. We've run to make sure that it does have positive expectancy or doesn't have positive expectancy. So by next Friday, we should be unveiling the new trading plan. And we are going to have, it's not officially named yet, but there's going to be a plan A. And the plan A is when the market, the SPY, has a fear and greed score of less than 70. I do miss Joe's beautiful gray hair. So when the SPY has a fear and greed score of less than 70, that's going to be plan A. There's going to be a lot more trades to put on. Plan B would be approximately right now, which is when the SPY fear and greed is over 70. One of the back tests that Scott worked for me was he said that actually tech performed amazingly, the bestestly, tremendously, hugely when the SPY is over 70. And that didn't surprise me too much because if you go back to the map, what are the biggest names on here? The tech names, right? The technology goes from Microsoft over into this corner here, right? 1, 2, 3. The three biggest names on here fall into the technology sector. So when those are hot, going back to the market cap weighted index here, when those are running hot, that sector could be a great place to put money. So plan A is when the SPY fear and greed is under 70. Plan B, of course, beautiful names will be coming later. That's just what I have for now. Plan B is when it's over 70, and we're going to be reformatting a little bit for what that's going to be. I would not say 50% of the SPY is tech. Maybe 50% of the move is tech, but not 50% of the stocks that constitute it. And that's what we'd be looking to trade. So, as far as like content goes today, I don't have a lot to talk about other than the fact that we are working on the trading plan. We just got off the phone with Tradier, Mahesh and I, some really cool ideas bouncing up between Outlier and Tradier. But at the end of the day, you know, our goal is to make a trading plan that has the highest expectancy possible. So we are working actively to make sure that we have all of the ducks in a row for that to work. Now, there were a couple updates. Let me show those to you real quick. A couple updates to the trading plan in the last 24 hours, thanks to Scott. And let me take a screenshot of this. Okay, so latest updates. Keeping the SPY, or plan A being when SPY is under 70 on the heat map, plan B, SPY being over 70. 2, keeping the gap and crap exits. Now, when Scott ran the data, I told him a 3% gap. And honestly, that didn't pull up really good results. And so I was like, okay, maybe it takes a bigger gap. But I've seen enough gap and craps that I know for a fact that that's a thing. Let's talk about what a gap and crap looks like. Let's look at Palantir. So this is a gap and go, where a gap's up. You're looking at the low of the day of the gap. If it continues up higher, that's a gap and go. Forget about this coming back down. Within 3 days is what I'm looking for. Does the gap hold? Yes. Now, stuff came out later is what it is. And then we can look at something like Celsius. I remember that Celsius had one of these. It had a gap and crap. So it gapped up. It went under the low of the gap candle within the 3rd day. That's a get out. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. And then it did eventually come back around. But, you know, that was nearly an entire month of candles before it came back around. So you don't have to wait that long, right? You don't have to wait that long. You can actually take that signal right away and say, okay, it's time to go. It's time to go. 4.0 is a game changer. You're right. Yeah. Risk manager, you are in the right place, my friend. You are in the right place. Let's see. Hammer donkey. Instead of sit in cash and don't F up, we could have had Scrooge McDuck saying, don't get effed. If you say so. If you say so. So anyway, that's the latest updates with Outlier, right? We've got our trading plan almost nailed down. We got 2 final tests. Scott just sent me data that I want to dig in right away. And we're going to have different plans for different market scenarios, therefore giving you more opportunities to trade with the highest expectancy that we've ever been able to come up with. So I am incredibly super excited about it. And also, I'm very super excited to share with you this song one more time, just because we can. Why'd I sell my options for pennies? If you have still got selling options on the mind, cut it out. This is what you need to be thinking about. You guys have a fantastic day. Don't forget to click one of those 2 buttons whenever they pop up at the end. Will there be a big reveal? Of course, of course. How are we going to control the outlier effect? My friend, I'm not too concerned about that. The outlier effect helps us overall. So anyway, why did I sell these options for pennies? I don't know. I certainly wouldn't be selling any options these days. I would be buying the mess out of those options, but only when your trading plan sets up. Have a fantastic day. We will talk soon.
I sold those calls, thought I'd be smart, collected credit, played my part, but stocks don't care what traders say. Now they're exploding anyway. Each time I check my screen at night, the red is glaring far too bright. I thought I'd win, I thought I'd thrive, now I'm just praying to survive. Why did I sell those while I snoozed away, collecting data every day. But memes don't warn when the stocks go wild. Now I'm the broker's problem child.
Infinite loss, that's what they say. One bad print and I must pay.
I sold the dream, I bought the lie. Now let it last while I just cry. Why did I sell those options for pennies?
It's not the game they said.
Why did I sell those options for pennies?
It haunts my trading bed.
Delta bites and Vega screams. Vandals, my fragile dreams. There's one more Greek they all forgot. Trumpers, queens can wreck the lot. Why did I sell those options for pennies?
The credit's never free.
Why did I sell those options for pennies? Then Trump tweeted